All right. What is going on, guys? We are back with the Sunderland Football Manager 2021 Road to Glory series, and this is the start of Season 4. It's been 4 seasons so far. If we take a look, Season 1, this is the start of Season 4. It hasn't been 4 seasons yet. It's been 3, and it's at the start of Season 4. So, first season, we won the Sky Bet League 1. We finished in first there, then Championship first. We couldn't come first 3 seasons in a row. I think that was asking a little bit too much. I wasn't expecting that, don't get me wrong. Finishing 5th was definitely a big thing, and I still got Manager of the Year. We backed that up. But did I not get Manager of the Year? I got Manager of the Month in this one. I was going to say it would be good to get that 3 years in a row, but I think, if we don't finish first, I think I'd take getting Manager of the Year in the Premier League. That is a massive thing. Norwich win their first game in the season, but pre-season, remember how much transfer budget I had? It was it like 20 million. 200 million would be nice, wouldn't it? Now we go over to something you may have seen on the front page, on the home page. Nicola Armini, you're like, what? You've promised to sell him for, okay, does it say it there? All right, we have to hover over. It's interesting, yeah. You have to hover it over there. You couldn't see it in the promises. I'm pretty sure we didn't see it there. 40 million. 40 million. So obviously that was triggered by interest in him, like an offer that I rejected. I didn't want to sell him, of course. What I did after that, I put his asking price to 200 million, fade out any interest, and yeah, kind of returning that. Just really returning that fact. You know, when you approach players and their team, they counter with a ridiculous offer. That's essentially what I'm doing here. Not within an offer though, just the asking price. And it's really dumbed down any interest. I like to think we'll play it out. 20 more days without an offer being made. But now let's get into the transfers we made with, as I said, spending a lot of the transfer budget. We did a good job with that. So let's see what actually happened. Let's get into it. And as I did touch on, I wasn't happy with the budget. I really wasn't. And Griffo was one I targeted. I think there was a comment about it as well. Griffo was he was a good target to sell. 22 million, which was around his value. Something I don't like on this skin, you can't see their value unless it's showing up somewhere else. There's the contract. When you've got a scout on them, so you have to go over to the transfer. And 17, he was worth about 20 million. I feel after the season finished, him and a few other players, their values boosted a little bit, which I thought it was pretty generous, his value being around 20 mil. So we got an amount and all up as well, 100% of the sale we had to go to a budget. So I was really happy with that because then we were sitting on around 40 million. I think that would have been a fair budget for the season, considering where our money was sitting. And we're still doing pretty well after all these moves. We got 70 million. Remember what happened last season? How we went from there up to 70, 80 million? It would be good to go that same kind of way while we're sitting on 70 mil right now. And just so I don't forget, we had some other things improved. And don't forget, we got that accepted to increase next season's transfer budget. So next season's budget should be good. Increased junior coaching, that was applied, and training and youth facilities just to get to the next level. Improving training and youth is always going to be important, and they weren't too expensive at all, because obviously Sunderland is not at the highest level yet in terms of their facilities, so it's still another decent upgrade for us. And then a few others here. Stefan Ilsank, who is running out of his contract. Once more, some of these go down as free transfers, and some, because he actually moved on to another team. We'll see what happened to the others. Again, I remember that team, Reindorf, Altak, I'm not saying their name correctly, but he's moved on. He was all right, though. I feel he contributed. Oh, actually, I think I had that logo on one of my ultimate teams on FIFA, funnily enough. But then just some other players loaned out. Isherwood, De Jong, and then Dan Neil again. He's getting a lot of loans out. Let's just see how he looks. He's not looking too bad. Still far away from Premier League. He's had a little bit potential. I think it depends where Sunderland is at. He's got decent potential for them in the game, but where we are now, I'm not sure if he's going to be good enough, admittedly. So just to show you guys that, if we go onto release players, yeah, so Andre Wisdom, where did he go? He's at Bristol City. So there's going to be more talk about that, even for some players we haven't sold yet. Bristol City's picked him up, and yeah, I'd say he's a good experienced championship player. Bailey Wright should find himself somewhere. Yeah, that's an Australian player move to Greece. There you go. Not just Australian players can go to Greece, but I'm not surprised, not shocked with that move. George Dobson at Bournemouth. Not too bad. Bournemouth in the championship, so that's fair enough. Obviously, yeah, Bournemouth a team, they'll want to be trying to get back to the Premier League, that's for sure. Dobson's okay. We didn't use him a lot. Glenn Wales, he was just another youth player. He still hasn't found a home. That can tend to happen. And yeah, the rest were youth players. Orrit was all right. But he's at Dagenham and Redbridge. What I mean, he seemed like a decent youngster, but not good enough potential. Like, if you look at his technicals, they're not bad, but yeah, he was never going to make it to the level that we want. And then Paul Burrows, he was just, not there. He's at Ashton United. Yeah, some of these other players, they're dropping down to that conference level, that semi-professional level, hoping to get some regular football. And maybe they can make it to a professional, like a League 2 level. It wouldn't be out of their reach, I'd say. So let's go into all the transfers and focus on the ins now, where we spent 31. I think we did good bid. Like, guys, our business here, like, if we look out, 22 million, and we don't have a lot, so I'm not going to get into the calculations of it, but we sold Vincenzo, I guess, because we made some free transfers. Yeah, that's probably the if you want to get the calculator out for the differences, you're like, if you had 20 million, and yeah, you got another 22 million on that, like, the difference there is only like 8. That much, yeah, that's, or 9. There you go. Quick maths. But, my point still stands. That, that's not much of a difference, considering you had that 20 million from the beginning. But, it's because we spent it on free transfers. We did spend on some free transfers. So number one was Big Toby. The experience is going to come to the fore here. A Premier League central defender, like, experience at Tottenham in the save, and then he moved on to Inter, where he didn't play as regularly, to be fair, especially in his second season. So I don't think he'd take too much out of his average rating. It was out of like 3 games. I guess he played well when he did. His natural fitness is 15, so he'll hold on to his ability. He's another one with his experience. He hasn't got really like the green attributes in his mentals, but he's got quite a few 14s and 15s, and his strongest attribute still is tackling. Hey, that's a good thing for a defender, hey. Very experienced. I think he can lead the defense for this season, and maybe to push a top four finish. And then Gabriel Martinelli on loan from Arsenal, not a bad option. He's got a few 15s, doesn't he, as well? High work rate. I'm looking for him to play down the wings because obviously we could not get our other Arsenal man, Nelson. I'm expecting this season they're going to use him part of the setup. If they're not, they're just going to be really, really silly. You have to go to happiness these days, don't you? But you can only see that for you. Yeah, where can you see, is it in the contract? Like, if he's a first-team starter or whatever he is. Or it could be somewhere else. I don't think so. But anyway, why do we have any purpose of knowing if he's a squad player or a first-team starter? Why is that any of my business for another team's player? They're keeping it low-key, I guess. But anyway, if we go, he hasn't started. I'm just interested, like, what's Arsenal's plans with him? I just feel a connection with him in this save. This is the way we're going to find it out. That is for sure, guys. Nelson, it looks like, starting on that left wing. Let's see if that happens into the season. But for now, he's no longer a player of ours. But I'm just intrigued to see how he's going to be. But Gabriel Martinelli is a very, very good player. And we're paying his contract, but he's on loan. We had to go for loans. We'll talk about it for a little bit with the signings we make. But Gabriel from Benfica, he probably comes in as our best central midfielder now. Like, if you judge off our coach reports, there's quite a few ahead of him. But at the time I signed him, Asta Vrank's gone up a little bit, actually, in terms of his squad rating, and only 20 years old. Could he have a big season? We'll have to wait and see. But Yeah, Gabriel, I think when we scouted him, he actually had the top rating. But yeah, you see some other players there that are new as well. Unfortunately, yeah, I just forgot he picked up a little injury, so he can't play the first game. I always hate that when a new signing can't make his debut in the first episode of a new season. So he's got very well balanced attributes. Then Billy Gilmore, he was the other one that sparked some interest. So another one, from a Premier League team, Chelsea on loan, incredible technicals. He's going to be our creative force through the midfield, or one of our creative forces through the midfield. His first touch passing technique, vision as well. Yeah, he's really, really creative. And I'm pretty happy that we got Gilmore in. Happy, Gilmore? It's funny how these things happen. James Connolly, he was one of those we agreed very, very early. Was that like a couple seasons ago now? Yeah, 2.8k. I was... he looked all right, and for your player you're going to sign, cheap as chips, 2.8, with a bit of potential in him. I'd say with that potential he'll become, at a minimum, like a very good championship player, so he'd be worth it much more than we signed him for. So, and chuck him in the under-23s, fullback. Yeah, he's going to show a bit there, just add some, extra numbers, extra names. Is always going to help. Oscar Melendo, though, 5.25 million, guys. We've got a story about him. You're like, oh, that's pretty cheap. Look at his value. He had a release clause that was active here. Yeah, if you guys see, that was really, really good that we were able to pick up something. Maybe I'll do a tips video on that instead of going through it right now, because we're not looking for more players. But yeah, how to find some players on that, on like active release clauses. But it's very, very handy. Guys, again, like a preseason always takes a few days for me to get through, because exactly that, there is a lot, and I want to make the best signings. And Oscar Melendo was the wing position. We were really looking for a winger to replace Nelson. He was, very, very regular over on that right side for us. And it's just handy that he's natural in multiple positions as well, Oscar Melendo. He's strong on both feet. Could be even you train him on the left side. Just very handy, 4-star current ability. And he would be an upgrade to whoever else was back up to Nelson. Like, I'm not sure who else. The only thing is he's finishing, but he's going to be very creative. I can see a lot of assists coming from him, as you can see already. And he showed, he's had a couple pretty decent seasons in Spain, in La Liga. And if you find him early, you can sign him for a decent fee, someone who goes up to 20 million. And that was his value as well, not just because we signed him and his value boosted. His value, I think it was actually a little more than that, like 21 or 22 million. And yeah, we got him for that clause, which was really good. And then Aidan, another Spaniard. He's from RSD Alcala. Like, you could probably tell by the way I said their name that, that I'm not sure how good of team they are, but wherever they were playing, last season he was exceptional. So I think he's got a little bit of potential in him. You see what that says there. Once more, a minimum championship level, and we signed him for a free. What's his value right now? 64k. That's going to improve as he gets older. Yeah, he's going to be worth something. To sell on, he might not be a Premier League quality player, but guys, Sepp Vandenberg. We talk about De Jong. To give you an update on him, because I guess he's got relevance, Joey De Jong. He's got some decent potential, doesn't he? These guys we end up signing on a free, they turn out all right. So hopefully, does anyone else notice this when you can have an upgrade for your loanees? Like, it's like a step up each season. One season they go, like he'll go out on loan to League One, next season Championship. And I do that like without trying. Like, I didn't force that. It's just funny that was the way it happened, and it happened that way in the game. That Millwall, a championship team, was the one that approached. But let's get back to Sepp Vandenberg, who we did sign. I'm pretty happy with the fee we got him for. If you go back here, just under 10 million. RZ signed him for 5. Liverpool signed him in real life for 1.8 million. And you will be interested to see in real life, the Dutch defenders' quality. There's one decent one at Liverpool, yeah? But with Sepp Vandenberg, I have high hopes. I have high hopes for him. Again, his value, we signed him for cheaper than that. He's going to continue to grow. He doesn't have too many lower attributes. Some of his mentals still, maybe if they go up by 1 or 2 more, will be nice. Or all of his attributes, if they go up by 1 or 2 more at 21, I wouldn't say that's impossible. So, yeah, he's one to look out for. And we needed a striker. We'll talk about it maybe a little bit more. Sam Greenwood, we needed someone stronger. I knew we needed another striker. So we brought in Dusan Vlahovic, and he impressed me. when I was looking at him, he impressed me. He scored 18 goals last season in the Serie A. I think that's a pretty impressive effort. Hellas Verona, they probably would have been happy with their work. I wouldn't have been as confident. Like, if I was them signing, he only got 9 goals. I guess from 23 starts, that's not terrible. And then 6 off the bench appearance. He scored 3 in the cup. So, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So that just... How much in the cup did he get? Okay, he didn't play too many. Hellas Verona didn't go too far in the cup, I guess. But, yeah, that's an impressive ratio. And he's a goal scorer. He's coming into the team. And I'm expecting him to really... Strikers are such a big signing in FM. Like, you can spend a bit of time on it, get your right man, get your key man up top. He's 191 centimeters as well. So, yeah, good height. And he isn't too slow as well. Pretty mixed in his physical. So, yeah, there was that signature, that signing. Sometimes anyone feel the same? I was kind of just really into it when looking for this player or looking for a striker specifically. Sometimes you just go after some loans and make them happen quickly, free transfers. Yeah, I went through them, fairly quickly in a way compared to this signing. I was spending a bit more time on it. And you feel good when you finally make that signing and you're happy with your man you brought in. So, yeah, that's how I was feeling towards that. Barry Williams, he was another one. Unfortunately, he didn't end up having the greatest potential, but I thought when I found him, he actually had decent potential. He looked all right. So, yeah, like if you look at last season, he killed it. I know it's only in Australia, and I know the non-leagues in Australia, it's not the greatest quality, but it says a lot that a 17-year-old kid he would have been last season, he's 18 now. I knew he didn't have the highest attributes. I saw that, but I thought he had a little bit higher potential than that suggested. But at the same time, it was, we go back, it's a free signing, he's going to develop a little bit. Surely he's going to be better than he was at 18 in a few more years. And maybe we can sell him on for a little bit. Yeah, realistically, we don't need to talk about him too much because he's not going to be a starter in the team. But, yeah, signed on a free can really be no harm. There can't be anything bad about that. If he's not good enough in the Premier League, that doesn't really matter. And then to finish things off, we signed Takifusa Kubo. He's a decent name, isn't he? And he's got some good technicals and mentals. Physically, not the best. But once more, we get him on a loan deal. His contract isn't that, he isn't on the highest wage. I don't mind spending that much for him. And yeah, I'm training him to play right mid. He was another right mid. We needed to get that, another backup. But he can play a few positions as well. So yeah, I do like his technical ability. I think he can stand out. He's a good decision maker. He'll be with the ball. Anticipation is an important attribute, even though it doesn't cover it as one for that position. But in general, I think anticipating is quite important. So those were the transfers we made. Let us know in the comments how you rate those. I'm overall pretty happy. Consider the budget we were given with initially and what we did with Griffo. See, that was 22 million up front. Look what we did with that money. If you can add some, like if we go into some of these, like obviously Dusan 16 million, say that was our initial budget with a little bit extra. Sepp Vandenberg, we signed just under 10 million, then a 5 million for Melendo. That really allowed Melendo's, almost all of them in a way, but then a couple of the free transfers as well. But yeah, that was one player we sold, and then we were able to sign maybe one other, if not two, from what our current budget was. I wouldn't have been able to sign Vlahovic, or it could have been just, we wouldn't have been able to sign as good a striker. We would have had no money elsewhere, close to nothing anyway. Wouldn't have been able to sign Big Toby, his experience at the back, and maybe some of the loans on their wages. So that sale really helped us to finalize more transfers that we really needed. One player out and probably 2 or 3 extras, if not 4, that we wouldn't have been able to make on the transfer budget we had. So Vincenzo, he did help out, and we were happy. I was very stoked. I was stoked with Leverkusen being interested and putting that bid in for him. But now let's get the season started. And our first game of the season is against Arsenal as well. So this is going to be really intriguing to see where Arsenal are at. Let's go into the team selection. I have stayed with that 4-4-2. I honestly have considered, because there was an update as well. But yeah, Gabriel, I was planning to start him. A little bit annoying, and that's something else annoying in the pre-season as well. Sometimes the fitness level, even though you got your assistant to select, it's not as balanced. But Gould and Hayden, they have a good connection. So not too unhappy there. Maybe Asta makes the bench. We've got quite a nice like squad here. I'm very happy with our squad size. If you see how many, I know I'm over on this side, but we've got Ruben Vargas still here. He's going to be good versatility on the wings. Wasn't it last year? Wasn't he top for something? It was like distance covered or something like that. Yeah, he was hard worker. Rafael left back. I wonder about Kitalano if he'd be good enough. So Rafael, he can, he's only getting older as well, but if we need backup, he's going to be there. Dennis also got injured, the young keeper, and he showed there's been interest in him, but I didn't want to let him go, like transfer interest. There was actually transfer bids. We got him on a free from PSG. He's only EFL Championship potential, so I was hoping he'd become like maybe a first-team quality keeper, but maybe he's a little below that, and we have to settle maybe for selling him for a couple, like 2 or 3 million. So there's him, Vandenberg, Armini and Alderweireld, they're the ones are probably going to be the starters. Unfortunately, Martinelli, he's another one that couldn't get his debut here because obviously, he's ineligible. He's not allowed to play against his parent club. So Gomez, I actually thought about the wing situation, and we've got a few centrally. Gomez trained to play left midfield, which he has accomplished. So with his technical ability, and he's not slow. He's got 16 agility. I think he can play there. So we are going to head into this. And when I looked at it like this, Sam Greenwood, we were just touching on him. You look at his attributes. You go on a report. He's championship level striker. What did he do last season? 15 goals. I think we did quite well to get 15 Premier League goals out of Sam Greenwood's current ability. He's still only 21, but what do you guys say? What do you say to that? Like, from those attributes you can see, 15 goals. I think, that's going to be hard for him to get again if he was our main striker. Things would have to go very well. So Melendo going to be playing. Good to see him get a debut. So who am I excited seeing here? Vlahovic, definitely. Melendo and Alderweireld for sure. So there was a few jumper changes, like the shirt numbers, the shirt numbers of the players. So I'm not going to explain them all, but there's going to be a few, and if you remember which numbers players were, a lot of them should be self-explanatory. Let's get into it. You can see here Dusan. Dusan, we gave the number 9 to him. I think Manquillo as well. We gave him number 2. He wasn't that previously. Alderweireld got the 4. So let's just head into the game. How are we going to do it? See, we're going off last season. Remember the expectations from the players? They got mad when I said, what was it like, to avoid relegation? They thought I was asking too much, and we finished 5th. That's still mind-boggling to me. I reckon we'll say this. I'll go early in the season, what the assistant recommends, and I'll say I have faith in you. We should get a decent amount of players motivated. Okay, that's not the worst. Not the worst talk. And there we go. There's the lineup. Dalamura. I think we had him as the number 4, and we pushed him back to a bigger number as he's not the number 1. They got Demir, Smith Rowe, started Saka. See, that's what I mean. Where's the man? Where's Nelson, boys? Where's Nelson? Looks like he was fit and ready to go. And I know this is going to change, but I thought this is absolutely perfect setup and layout for the match day in terms of the information. So they're playing Saka. Interesting. Is he even on the bench? Nelson, okay, he's on the bench. It's a long season. It's like I feel like I'm the parent club loaning him out. You know how like the manager will get mad if you don't use him? I'm almost, because I know how good he is. But at the same time, Saka is an incredible player, and Smith Rowe. This is actually a decent Arsenal team. Tierney's playing centre back. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Tight game early, boys. Not a lot of chances. First 30 minutes, no shots on target from either team. Arsenal's had a few. I know. I kind of dislike these games because it's not as entertaining for you. There was almost no highlight in the first half. Thankfully, we get 1. I might take that thankfully back if we concede. That wouldn't be too thankful, would it? But we can at least see some action. Thomas. Don't like this. Saka, he's an incredible player. Oh, No, it's going to be for them. Just hope it's a missed one. Oh, fuck. First game of the season. And yes, with the update, it shows the assist notification, which is pretty good as well. What's that? I thought I saw ruled out. Who knows? Who made that? Kitalano. See, that's where I feel like an improvement could be made, but we just did not have extra money. And see, that's what I want to touch on as well. There was players being signed for like 20, 30 million that I was interested in, and I just simply couldn't sign. Like wingers. There was, what's his name? If we just head over to a McNeil. I wanted to sign him. Dwight McNeil. Has he not even... Yeah, Aston Villa signed him. I couldn't have made a deal like that. Like, I couldn't have done... I just want to see, for example, like, what else Aston Villa... Surely they wouldn't have a crazy budget. They spent 42 million and only sold 5.75, so I wouldn't have been able to do what they did here. I wouldn't have been able to spend 31 on one player. That was the difference. I would have loved to bring him in, like, as a winger. But I had to wheel and deal. I had to bring in someone like Oscar Melendo on a bargain. I would have loved McNeil, but thrash arms. Okay, something I'm going to try. Instead of changing formation, we're just going to go a bit more attacking in the way we are. So let me know what you guys think of that. Let's play down the wings. Go a bit more wider. And see what we got. Armeni's having a decent game. At home, if it was away against Arsenal, I might... Yeah, this season is going to be really tricky. We got Europa League coming, don't we? Don't want to give up on this game yet. It's still very much alive. Oh, we're starting this game. Well, not this game, this season. Not ideal, but we are missing a couple of our new signings. And good new signings as well. Most definitely. Ballerin. But Saka, where's your attempt to save that? Sigrist. Where's your... Like, he didn't try and save it. Tricky. Arsenal this season, I think they're going to be very, very good. Their attack looks dangerous. Another season in. Saka, Smith Rowe as well on the other side. See, he just goes onto his knees. Just right away, down on his knees, not trying to save it. So we're sitting bottom right now. It's not looking too good. So Hayden was decent last season, but I feel we made an upgrade in signing Gabriel on loan. Gilmore to come on for Gould. He's a bit better. Maybe get him into an advanced playmaker attacker role. We're gonna need something. But if you look at who's on the bench, Kubo, maybe for Melendo. They're both right-sided. So, yeah, that's going to be a tricky thing. We'll make that change. And Johnny Brennan. I'm not sure if he's ready. We'll leave it for now in case we maybe go 3 strikers. I'm not sure if we can do that anyway, because 2 fullbacks can't play centre-back. Yeah, neither of them. That's what I mean. Let's see. It's going to be a tricky one. As I said, Arsenal, very strong team this season. I doesn't even know what to say for there for a second. But they had 2 shots on target for 2 goals. But 9 shots in total. They're probably deserving of a lead. We're going to have to score from this. But I didn't say it too much, didn't I? I touched on, like, this is an update. So will my tactic be as efficient? But I don't think it's like a tactic where it was abusing the last update. Like the match engine or anything. Like it's a standard, pretty solid 4-4-2. So... yeah, it's not one of those outrageous ones that's like a good FM tactic. It's just solid. All right. Oh, okay. Gilmore! Decent chance. That was probably our best chance of the game. It wasn't horrendous. Hey, we might as well try and bring on another striker. Do what we can with that. Can Mankia at least a little... Nah, can't even a little bit play... Kitalano? Today, Junior. I'm just... Oh, well, we got Greenwood. I feel like Brennan is almost better than Greenwood now. Like, I'd preference to bring him on. Dusan, mate. We can't have this from you. Nah, Sergio Gomez. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for here. Kitolano, we can push him up a little bit. I know we'll probably have to go a bit asymmetric here. Where are we? Wrong part of the tactics. This is the screen you want to get onto. So Brennan, put him through the middle. I think he's a very, very good finisher. Kitolano, yeah, just going to have to complete wing back. And going to try and find maybe Hayden just get in a bit of a supporting role too. So let's go all out. Higher. Maybe get stuck in late. And some long kicks. This is the standard stuff, isn't it? Like you could say towards the end of an episode, end of the game where I go attacking, yeah, hoping for something. It wouldn't be the first time. So it shows, I don't know, as I said, we haven't even got our best lineup. So I'm not sure how much we can judge from this first game. Always first game of the season after multiple signings. Yeah, we're not at our best. So yeah, it was always, top 4, top 6 team is going to be hard to come up against for the first game. Manquillo, come on. Maybe some late excitement or not. I'm a bit frustrated. Like, you have this big pre-season after a few days and you just show nothing completely at all. So it's a little bit disappointing. But it was, yeah, tough game. Tough fixture. Knew it was going to be. Lacazette, show something, please. We haven't seen a lot today. It's not the best. Yeah, it's not going to be the best judgment of where we're going to finish this season. Like, from our budget, I'm happy with what I did, though. We still needed some loan signings. Like, that's where our budget was really lacking. And the good thing is, guys, like, now I'm kind of grateful that the expectations aren't going to be that high. But mentally, like, for the series progression, what would you guys say if I finished lower than last season? Did last season we overachieve? Finishing 5th is a tough thing, and we got Europa League this season as well. So, like, yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. That's for sure. Look, yeah, we did spend like really all our budget, unless an offer for 40 million comes in from Armenia and we accept. I might want to reject it, but then makes him, unhappy. So, yeah. But we probably won't see that because I put that high asking price that scares teams away. I'm just going to continue for a second. And yeah, I'm not sure the Europa League, it's not going to be drawn yet. So we're gonna leave it there. Leave your opinions though, guys. I know actually something else, another one I saved was just I think it was the income for last year. The match day, which I thought we finished pretty well for, and we saw that reflected in our budget. And, after a transfer window, spending money, we're still, like, the overall balance is 71 million, which is pretty good. If we have that same progression once more, like, from around there, we gain, like, a good 60, 70 million. So you put that on top of that, that's pretty good. If we end up this season close to 150 million, don't forget we're in Europe as well, it's going to be excellent, to be honest. So let's see if that will be the case. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. And again, from now, because we're through the preseason, we should have episodes every day. If not every day, every other day at the absolute minimum. I got FIFA videos as well, but I love the FM stuff. I love how this series is going, guys. All you guys that are watching. I'm going to have some plans going forward in the future for future series. Obviously, last year I did Blackburn. This year I'm doing Sunderland, which, loving. I love last year's save, love this one. But next year, it's weird I'm planning, technically later this year, the next FM game I want to do outside of England that's just a bit more, just a bit more different. And maybe not just a one-team save, maybe more a Journeyman that could be for the next Football Manager game. So you want to, just so you can understand the progression at least of my Football Manager videos, what's going to come. So definitely so much more to come for this Sunderland save to turn us into a championship. Oh, I meant to say Champions League. Champions League and just Premier League winning team. I think we're a bit far off that. It's going to take longer than Blackburn. If my memory serves me correct, with Blackburn we didn't win the league, but we won the Champions League from my memory. So I just feel like this has got so... Like, anyone feel the same? I know, not judging of this game against Arsenal, but more than anything, just judging the quality of the squad. Like, this is not a Premier League winning squad. This is so far from that. Europa League, I think Europa League will be tested against the very best Europa League teams, and they're going to be tricky games, like Arsenal, Europa League teams. So, yeah, there is a lot to come. There is a lot to come, which is a good thing. I'm excited for that. There's so many more episodes to come, really, so many more seasons. I don't honestly think the success is not going to happen in the next 2 seasons. At a minimum, we've got 3 more seasons to go. That's a minimum, as I say. I think it's going to be more than that, maybe 5 or 6, to have the absolute success. Champions League winning and Premier League winning. So hopefully you guys find that exciting. Yeah, how do you feel towards that? I like it because I'm loving this save at the moment. It never has to be rushed, but hope you've been enjoying it so far this year, and I'll see you guys next time.